listening to SwinRadio.
This is the Plot Thickens with Amy and Cassie on SwinRadio. This is Amy.
And this is Cassie.
It is 3 p.m. and you're listening to the Plot Thickens on SwinRadio.
We read and discuss Swinburne students' creative writing on air every Tuesday at 3 p.m.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Second episode.
Amy, welcome back.
Thanks.
You're really warm.
What the? It's a hot day. Oh, what a segue. It's a lovely day today.
It's a lovely day today, guys.
Your mind somewhere else?
It's a day to read some really, really good writing.
Exactly.
Isn't
and a
it
day to go
always?
to the beach. So enjoy the
Oh,
sun.
isn't it?
Oh, isn't it? Anyways.
And I plan to. Anyway.
Quick trigger warning.
Oh, yes. There is a trigger warning needed on this piece for violence and mental health. And also just, it's not inside the piece that we're reading, but it is context to like the whole story of the piece, that we're going to be talking about addiction as well. So y'all prioritize yourselves.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we have Barely Friends by creative writing student Ashley Illingworth. Yay.
I'm super pumped for this one.
Yeah, I am too. Do we want to give like the
The
intro?
synopsis? Yeah. Okay. Do you want me to do it? Cause
Yeah, because I'll read
Amy
the
will be
piece.
reading the piece,
Yes.
and I'll be voice acting some amazing characters. I'm
Just
about
like
to
last
whip
week.
out the best old woman southern accent you've ever heard in your lives. But just a little bit into what Ash said about the synopsis of the piece. So, Barely Friends follows Lydia and Madden, once childhood friends but have since drifted apart in adulthood. When Madden sinks into addiction and his parents arrange for him to stay with Lydia, and they reconnect while dealing with the pressures of anxieties from the outside noise.
And here is the piece now. I'm going to read from this computer.
Oh, I need to see too. What are you doing?
Barely Friends by Ashley Illingworth. I am woken up with the loud scream from across the street. I sit up and see the lights on in Florence's house and a shadowy figure running through the upstairs hallway. Another scream springs me out of bed. I run to the top of the stairs and see Mum putting on a dressing gown and bolting out the front door, down our one-step veranda. Dad must still be asleep. That man can tune out anything. I follow not far behind after I put on the closest pair of shoes. The screaming only grows more violent.
Get out of my house!
I hear as we get closer to the house. There is a clatter as if someone threw a table to the ground. The front door slams open, knocking the side table in the entryway, and Lydia comes bolting out, still in her pajama pants and an oversized sky blue hoodie. Lydia sprints down the pathway, only slowing down to look behind her once the raging footsteps behind her slow down. Cossie, she screams as Mum... Oh, that was your line.
Sorry, you took over. Cossie!
She screams as Mum runs up to the front door, just in time. Florence appears in the doorway, with a kitchen knife shaking in her timid old hand. Lydia makes a beeline straight for me as my arms outstretch ready for her. Mum blocks Florence's path, Florence's shoulders rising and falling rapidly. Flo, it's Cossie, your best friend. We've been best friends since we were 6, Mum says, while trying to fill Florence's line of vision. Florence's defense seems to come down around Mum, but when she looks our way, it just gets redirected at Lydia.
She tried to break in. She was upstairs while I was asleep.
Florence yells loud enough to wake the whole block. Lydia is trembling under my arm as Florence points directly at her. It's okay, Flo. It's just your daughter. How about you give me the knife? Mum says, keeping a calm voice.
I don't have a daughter. I'm too young to have a daughter.
Lydia covers her ears with her trembling hands. My hand comes up to help her hold her steady, catching some of her flyaway hairs between my fingers. Oh, I see. It's okay, Flo. We'll take care of her. You can go back to bed, Mum says, keeping her voice steady. Flo tries to take a step forward, the knife almost falling out of her hand.
We have to take her in.
Florence's voice booms across the front garden. Mum takes the opportunity to get the knife out of Flo's hand and walk her inside, while I walk Lydia across the street to Mum's house. I sit Lydia down at the kitchen island and grab a jacket from the rack next to the front door. Mum comes back about 20 minutes later, dropping Lydia's floral suitcase and matching backpack to the floor. It might be best for you to stay with us, sweetheart. Madden, would you take Lydia's bag to the guest room upstairs? Mum says as she puts the kettle on and takes a seat at the bench next to Lydia. I do as I'm told and take her suitcase upstairs, but when I come back down, Mum and Lydia seem to be in the middle of an inevitable discussion. As the guy that just randomly came back into her life not long ago, I don't think I could have much of a say in this, so I stand on the sidelines behind the wall. I have no idea what is going through Lydia's mind right now. I barely even know what to say to her, but I could say... What could I say that wouldn't trigger her or just make things worse? It's time, sweetie. They can calm her down and make her comfortable. That house is much too big for just her, Mum says.
Yeah, I just wanted some more time.
Lydia says through her sniffles. I know, sweetheart, but we just don't have it, Mum says.
Has it really been that long since I last visited?
Lydia asks. No, it just feels much longer for her. The distance between her now and her then is just growing so rapidly.
How many times has something like this happened?
Lydia asks. It just started a few weeks ago. It might be best for you to take a breather for a day so she can cool off. Her carer thinks it's time for memory care, and I agree, Mum answers.
Did you find a place?
Lydia asks while she sounds like she's mid-sip of something. Mum probably put on some of her calming herbal tea. She won't say it, but she's a hoarder. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. We went and visited a few days ago and all the people seem nice, but not so nice that they're stupid, Mum says.
Yeah, I guess I should think about what to do with the house.
Sorry. Lydia sniffles as she lets out a big calming breath, letting her herbal tea take its effect. We can take some time with that, sweetie, Mum says, trying to give Lydia some time to process everything.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to drag it out.
Lydia persists. Okay. Do you think you could drag it out till tomorrow? I need to get some sleep, Mum says as I hear her leave a cup in the sink.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Cassie.
Lydia says. Of course, sweetie, Mum replies with a smack of a kiss on Lydia's forehead before walking back to her room. I hear Lydia's light footsteps make their way to the living room, and I can hear the faint zip of her backpack. The sound of tapping keys becomes more rapid, so I turn the corner to enter the living room. Hey, you okay after all that? I ask, my hands staying stiff in my pockets.
Yeah, I will be.
She says, eyes fixated on her laptop's glow. Mum's asleep. You don't have to pretend everything is okay, remember?
Your mum was just saying, it's time for memory care. She thinks they'll be able to help her.
The words tumble out of Lydia's mouth like she's programmed to say them, but if the program was in the middle of burning out. What do you think? I ask as I take a step closer.
I know she's right. I just didn't even get to say goodbye. I didn't know she was this close to stage 6.
The tapping starts to slow a little bit. You're doing all you can, I say as I take another step, so I'm hovering over her.
I should have been around more. Maybe she would have remembered me if I had.
She says as little raindrops of tears start to fall on her cheek. Hey, don't say that. I take a seat next to her.
I just don't know what to do.
She says as her eyes become an ocean of tears. You don't have to know right this minute. You can think about it. I don't know what else to do but to pull her closer, let her know that I'm here.
But the longer I think about it, the further she slips away. Like, she's my mum, but she doesn't even know it anymore.
I don't know what else I can say to comfort her, the laptop light infecting her eyes, making them even more red than they already were. I move my arm around her waist to hold her closer and use my other hand to steady her hands. When the tremor in her hands starts to feel steadier, I move to close her laptop. Tell you what, if you can get some sleep tonight, we can look at what to do tomorrow and maybe go into town for a nice lunch. She brings her hand to her cheek to wipe away what remains of her tears and sniffles what is left from her nose. She grips my arm as we get up from the couch.
Okay, I can try.
She says. That's all I'm expecting, I tell her as we make our way to the stairs. Mum's room is at the front of the house, next to the front door, so I whisper to Lydia to be quiet as I walk her up the stairs. We make it to the top of the staircase and make our way down the hall. The guest bedroom Mum set Lydia up in used to be an upstairs living room, but Mum remodeled it when I moved out. It's across from my room, only a few meters away. She turns to face her door, and her hand moves towards the handle. I turn to my door, releasing my hand from her shoulder.
Madden?
I hear her soft voice from behind me. She's already in the doorway when I turn back.
Would you mind staying with me? I don't really want to be alone right now.
Her hand is still holding the door handle. I close my door and take a couple of strides in her direction and take her hand and feel the shaking subside. Yeah, of course, I say as I close the door behind us. We just lay there all night, hand in hand, staring at the ceiling, until I notice Lydia tilts her head down her pillow and onto my shoulder, and I know she's drifted off to sleep. If I learnt anything from last night, she can be a kicker when she only has a blanket to keep her warm. Our fingers stay intertwined until morning.
To serenade at the moment, I think we should hold hands.
Okay, I'll do that.
Intertwine.
If you want to see us intertwining hands, you'll have to watch this episode on Sweaty Jesus on YouTube.com. That is Sweaty Jesus on YouTube.com to see us intertwine our hands together. Thank you very much.
In commemoration for this beautiful moment.
That was a great piece.
I did like it. I want to know if you think this is romantic, because I have thoughts. We will actually get to talk about the piece, but I want your opinion on this.
Well, I mean, it's always harder with straight people, you know.
Yeah, I just don't root for them.
Yeah, I can't.
But, like, anything from last night, and, like, it feels so, like, romantic to me.
We should preface, this is a chapter from a larger book.
I do believe this is episode 8 that we've just read.
Yes.
But then I think it's also meant to be a short story as well. I think it's supposed to be, the single chapter itself is supposed to be an entire short story.
Yeah.
As well. That's how it was submitted to The Burn. You guys should read the creative writing on The Burn.
Yeah.
They're all really good.
Yes, you should read mine and Cassie's piece on The Burn.
Oh my goodness. Self-promotion. Anyway, back to the actual piece. Do you ship them?
And see, this is a comment that I need to make. I don't know enough about these characters to do it. Because obviously there's a bigger problem going on.
There is.
In the story.
There is. I do understand that. I was trying to start fun, but I guess if you want to start intense, we can do that.
My bad.
Well, if we're going to start there, I want to talk about Madden and how he actually wasn't introduced until, like, midway through the story.
Yeah, and this is the other thing, is that it's hard.
It's
because
hard,
this is part of a larger story, but it's written as a standalone.
Obviously,
currently.
in the synopsis as well, it describes how Madden was, or is an addict, I suppose, and has moved back in with his parents. I believe in the synopsis it said he moved in with Lydia. From this snippet, from this chapter, it looks like he's moved in with his parents, so I don't know if that is a change that happened between chapters 1 and 7, or maybe it's just a typo. But he is living with his parents. Yeah. And assumedly he has gotten introduced and his character has been set up in those 7 chapters. But as a short story, it does feel like I don't know who this man is.
Yeah, which is interesting from a first-person perspective.
Yeah, usually you get a lot of insight when it's, like, all a single person's, like, thoughts. Like, they're... But... yeah, the first time we get his name introduced is when the mother tells him to go take Lydia's stuff upstairs. And honestly, that kind of threw me off because I thought we were going to have another nameless character.
Yes. I thought
but
so
we
too.
don't. It's Madden.
Interesting.
And it's a man. Jump scare. I was jump scared. Okay, but before we go into that, I think we should start with what we like about the story.
Yes.
Hit me with it, baby.
Hit you with it, baby. I love the use of time, particularly in dialogue. I liked the progression of these particular lines, which is, I just need more time, we just don't have it. And the longer I think about it, the further she slips away.
That was a good
like
line.
all the use of those. And there's more of them in here as well. There's plenty of them. Those are just the ones that I picked out that I liked. But yes, I liked that use. Because obviously, with Alzheimer's, I'm just going to preface this. I don't know anything about Alzheimer's.
I know a little.
I don't know anything. So anything I say is not educational or from personal experience.
No, neither of us are doctors.
But obviously it's
A very serious disease.
Yeah, and
It's very intense.
it gets worse with time.
It does, yeah.
So that use of time in dialogue is, I think, very...
Because it sets up an endpoint too. Not even necessarily an endpoint for the story, but an endpoint for the character. There is something that will end, which is Lydia's or Florence's memory of her daughter, or Lydia's life, kind of with her mother in it. So like all of that building in a longer series, like it looks like this is, all of that building to that point where the audience knows it's going to hit that point, the climax of the story, is really, really good. So the constant reminder that it is inevitably coming up and it's getting closer and it's happening sooner than Lydia thinks it will happen is very intense. I like that.
Which is how it always goes.
Yeah, you always think you've got more time.
Not even just with Alzheimer's, I mean with anything.
Yeah.
And I think I also wanted to touch on that, which is that I think also the way Madden is portrayed, in the sense that, I mean, he says over and over, he's like, I don't know what to do, is very realistic for people that have loved ones that are dealing with grief, because that's what this is. It's grieving your mother that doesn't even, like, remember you anymore. I really liked the way that was portrayed, and he wasn't, like, you know, like, immediately swooping in and was like,
saving the
I'll
day.
take care of you. He was like, I don't know what to do.
He was very unsure. I liked the scene where he was hiding behind the wall and he was, like, listening in.
Yeah.
Like a very much observer character. So I liked that we got a bit of his character that way. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I liked that too.
Especially because that is set up too in the scene, like, with Florence. He is, like, kind of in the back on the other side of the street, or, like, kind of on the road near the footpath, where the mother is the one actually taking care of Florence. Like, he's not a kind of character that steps in and is, you know, the immediate, like, first person to take care of someone.
Yes. But I also, just circling back quickly, I do like that characterization of Madden. I think that's very realistic for a lot of people to just not know what to do. And also that distinction of he doesn't shy away from it. Like, he actively goes up to Lydia. Because a lot of people in the face of grief will just detach themselves because they don't want to deal with it. They are scared. They don't want, like, you know, to confront it. Because it's a confronting thing. But I like that he stepped in. He made sure Lydia was okay. Yeah, I liked that a lot. Because it shows a lot about his character as well. That he's willing to take the initiative for that.
I agree. I do like his character when we get the bits of it.
Yeah.
I think he's a very good first-person character to have, especially because... Not that he's not confrontational, but it is good to have, in my opinion, in a character in a story like this, where the point of view character is, like, the voice of reason character. It makes sense, like, and you see the thought process behind every decision. It makes it very easy to sympathize with the character, even if they're doing stuff that, you know, you would think is kind of strange. Like, listening to this conversation from behind a wall is probably frowned down upon, but listening to the character's insight, being like, I don't know, like, what the boundaries are, I don't want to set her off or trigger her in any way. Like, that kind of reasoning behind it, that logic, makes it, like, very digestible.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the line, I've just come back into her life.
Yeah, as the guy who just came back into her life.
Yeah. Like, I'd do the same.
Yeah. I've highlighted a few lines that I absolutely loved.
Okay, you go for it.
The first one was when Lydia makes a beeline straight for me as my arms outstretched ready for her. I love that line. I love that line so much. I think my favorite parts about this story is the hint back to them being childhood friends. Because to me, I'm not sure about you, to me that's the most interesting part of this story. Someone that you know, like, so well, like, you've grown up together. The mothers were best friends since they were 6, so assumedly they were raised almost like siblings, or like neighbors, like they live across the house from each other. Like, they were obviously they were obviously oh my god, I'm blanking the name, raised incredibly close, so that his arms are already outstretched for her and she's just jumping in them, and there's that immediate connection between them, even as they don't talk to each other. I think is a really good setup, especially when you immediately counter it with he doesn't know how to talk to her or like respond to her in this moment. Like, their actions are very instinctual, but when it comes to talking or like anything more than just instinct, like, they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes, I do like the instinct.
The words tumble out of Lydia's mouth like she's programmed to say them, but if the program was in the middle of burning out. I think that's my favorite metaphor I've heard in a long time. Because it just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Like, and especially in this moment, because when a family member, especially someone as close to your mother, is ill, like, obviously Lydia knows a lot about it. She's been told all this stuff before. This is nothing new to her that her mother is going to be moved to a different, like, care home. This is stuff she knows. She knows her mother's not going to remember her.
Yeah.
She knows that her mother's declining. So her saying this, like, it's just programmed into her. She's heard it over and over. But it's like she's coming to terms with it finally. I think that was a really great way to, write that out. Like, it's so good. And the ocean of tears. I love a good metaphor when it comes to crying.
Raindrops of tears.
Yeah. I really...
Yeah, did you? The little raindrops of tears and then the ocean of tears.
I had an other opinion on that.
Okay.
Which we'll talk about.
I just thought it was nice to, like, compare them together.
I would have liked it if it was a little bit more further apart.
Oh, okay.
I would have liked if it was like a build-up, like the raindrop of tears was her holding back, and then, because there's only one sentence between them, or two sentences between them. I would have really liked if there was more of her, the raindrop of tears showing she was, like, withholding it a little bit, like, still trying to keep her composure, and then the ocean of tears is, like, it exploding.
Yeah.
Like, I wish it could have, like, built a little more. I did like the line, though. Nothing against the line. Just where it was placed, I wish there was more build-up to her, like, breaking down. Because clearly this is a character who's, like, holding it together really well, especially because the main character is, like, your mum's gone. Like, you can cry.
Yeah.
She's asleep already somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are a few of the lines that I just absolutely loved.
I also like, 'cause, again, I don't know anything about Alzheimer's, but what I do know is that a lot of people, you know, people that are in care of them, like family members, a lot of the time they do regret, like, not, like, putting them on medication earlier or, like, spending more time with them. And Lydia obviously feels that way as well, where she's like, I just wish we had the time. I wish I visited more. I wish I, like, did this, and this, and this.
Well, I think Lydia only got there that night.
Yes.
I don't think she saw her.
Yeah.
It's the fully packed suitcases, I'm assuming.
Yeah. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, because it's like, if you put them on medication, it's like, how much of it is my mother still? And that's what they're really clinging on to.
Yeah.
Or what Lydia's really clinging on to, like, it being her mother who remembers her.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Very emotional character. Very intense. Which I think combats Madden nicely, because with his addiction, obviously we don't know the context of the addiction. It's not referenced in the piece. But I would assume he's come here to get clean. So it's kind of the difference in that too, where they're at these two very different stages of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sing Sing into addiction. His parents arranged for him to come stay with Lydia as they reconnect.
Yeah, so I'm going to assume that his parents are trying to get him out of that.
Yeah, out of that situation.
Yeah.
Whatever his story was. I'm really sad we don't. If I could have one thing, please put some more of his addiction into this story. I'm so interested.
Or even just, like, a little, like, tidbit in the piece.
A little something. Like, I can't speak from personal experience, but I do know, like, when people of addiction come to live with their family members, there's this distrust, usually, between them and the rest of the people in the house.
Yeah.
That could have been interesting to see from the mother's perspective and from Lydia's perspective even, because obviously the mother can't trust Florence to be on her own. It could be this kind of comparison where the mother also couldn't trust Madden to be on his own, where Madden feels like he's almost being compared and, you know, to the likes of Florence, and he's a little insulted by that. I think it could set up something interesting for those characters, or for Madden himself in his own arc to be like, oh, maybe I do need help. Because that's, like, one of the biggest things. It's, like, accepting that you need help and accepting that you're worthy of help.
Yeah. Him
talking with Lydia about how Florence needs help and how that's not a bad thing, in a way could be helping him realize that he needs help for himself within his addiction.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's where the story goes, but it would be interesting if it
I don't know. But
could get something.
It would be interesting to see his dad's reaction to all of that as well, because the dad was mentioned.
He was mentioned.
And then somehow slept through everything.
I kind of got that he was, like, a very no-nonsense, like, goes to work but emotionally distant parent.
I also got that as well. The
Yeah.
emotionally distant bit.
Especially with the way he said, the exact phrasing was, that man can tune anything out.
Yes.
And
he
that
can
is
sleep through anything. He can tune anything.
That's a full sentence in itself, which kind of implies, like, he's able to ignore this stuff. Which I suppose he's ignoring Florence. Poor Florence.
Yeah.
On Florence for a moment, Miss Alzheimer's girly.
All right.
She, again, in the just past the synopsis, the writer had let us know that they weren't too clear on the exact ins and outs of Alzheimer's. One thing that does happen is your body gets extremely weak and frail. So the line, as if someone threw a table to the ground, in my head when I was reading it, just didn't make sense to me, because I was like, that's not possible.
Yeah.
But that could be, like, changed with, like, just the wording, like, knocked to the ground, or, like, threw something even lighter, like a chair to the ground, anything like that. And it's described even, like, a second later when it's the kitchen knife in a timid old hand.
Yeah.
This woman cannot throw a table. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that kind of took it out for a second, because I knew I was reading a story about Alzheimer's. So to hear as if there was a fight, like a table was thrown to the ground, was kind of like, oh, okay. I don't think that's possible, but this is a really strong, beefy girl.
Yeah.
Strong, frail woman.
Frail hands.
Frail hands, but crazy biceps.
Yeah.
That's where she works out.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I had nitpicky things. The use of, like, numericals instead of written out numbers. So SIX instead of the number 6, and obviously spelling out 20 instead of 20. I think that was mainly.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the official grammatical thing is, when it comes to numbers 0 to 10, you write it out. And then when it comes to, like, 11 and above, you do the numerics. Or numbers.
Yeah. I don't know. But, yes, that just threw me off a little bit. And then the spelling of break was just wrong. That was...
Yeah.
I think that's my nitpickiness done.
Yeah, I had a few nitpicky things as well. Running through, where it's written running though. And just, a few other nitpicky things. Commas. The story needed... The sentence was very, very long. There were a lot of places where I felt it could have benefited from having a comma. Or even just, like, shorter sentences in some places. I guess the best way to do that, though, is really just to read through it, like, aloud and do some editing. When it was submitted to us, I think that she prefaced that she hadn't edited this a lot.
Yeah, she hadn't,
So
checked.
She hadn't.
Yeah, I haven't had the chance to properly edit. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So just be on the lookout for commas and places where you can, like, try to break up a sentence, especially when the sentences do tend to lead very, very long. But yeah, I like this sentence. This is so stupid to say when you can't have a visual. I like how the sentences and the paragraphs are broken out. They're not extremely long. They're not extremely short. We have certain ones where they're just one line, and it's, like, a very intense line. But then for longer descriptions, like, it's all in a single paragraph. It's very easy to read to me. I like that. I like how it's broken up.
Yes, I do too. Main thing I wanted to talk about, it's just something that irks me a little bit when I do read things, is when there are a lot of characters, you do tend to have to, like, use their names over and over again. I feel like there's a lot of times in this story where you can afford to either get rid of a name or add more, like, physical characteristics to characters so that you can use describing language to show who's talking. Like, you can say the older woman or the frail woman instead of just saying Florence over and over and over again.
Yeah, I don't think we got any description on how the characters appear other than Florence, which is a bit of a missed opportunity, especially in these characters that have, like, an addict's hand can be very interesting to describe because they're usually frail or bony depending on the drugs that they're addicted to. It can be a very interesting way to set up what stage of recovery Madden might be in.
Oh, yeah.
It does mention his hands quite a lot when they're intertwined with, I was going to say Florence. When they're intertwined with Lydia's, when he's like brushing her hair, there are a lot of moments where his hands are described. And even just him doing physical activities, he's carrying the stuff upstairs. Again, I don't know what stage of addiction he's in. It sounded kind of intense when in the synopsis, like he was pretty not in control of himself. But there's like little moments there where you can kind of add the character's like physical strength just in what they're carrying. Like he, you know.
I've got my hand up. I just wanted to quickly add before I forgot. You could also add, like, if that's where the story is going, moments of, like, insecurity in that. Like, he could be like, God, I hope she doesn't think my hand is, like, gross or something like that.
Yeah, especially with a character who's already having these thoughts. Like, he's already being like, oh, I hope I don't overstep. I hope this, I hope that. He's a
cross his
warrior.
Boundary,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would make sense in the story for him to be like, ooh, I hope she doesn't... doesn't notice. I don't know if Lydia's meant to know if he has a drug addiction.
I don't know.
I am assuming she does. Maybe not in this moment.
And I feel like, because I do have a few more things to say about it from here on out, I'm going to talk about this as if it is a standalone short story instead of a broader, like one chapter from a broader story. Yeah, just in the sense, if this is a short story, cut the dad out.
Yeah, there's no need.
Yes.
There's a few things I would cut if this is a short story.
Yeah.
And there's a few things that just didn't make sense to me as well. This is so nitpicky. Actually, move aside. I'm going to do my nitpicky stuff now. This is the most nothing thing of all time, but the whole guest bedroom thing, like, stumped me for no reason. Because it used to be an upstairs living room, and a living room typically is an open space. There is no door. So converting it into a guest bedroom meant that they had to install a door.
Yeah.
And to me, that makes no sense. Like, I know people do it, but to me, if you were setting that up, I would set it up to show that his family has wealth, that they're able to do these like renovations on the houses. Or I would keep it as a guest bedroom, and it was always a guest bedroom, or maybe an office, and that's where
I was going to say an office.
And that's where you could have a tie to their childhood. Like, it could be, like, the room that she used to sleep in when they were kids or something. I think I wrote...
And they weren't allowed to sleep in the same bed.
Yeah,
boys and girls can't sleep in the same bed.
I wrote, like, the guest bedroom Lydia was supposed to sleep in when they were teenagers until Mum went to bed and she'd creep over to my room, not even bothering to knock on the door to let ourselves in. It shows, like, a prior dynamic and how it's changed. Because if we had a line like that, then it would be a big deal for Lydia to be asking to join him in his room.
Yeah.
It shows how, like, they are used to each other's space. Like, he knows that she used to be in this space. She knows this house. She knows what that room is. She will automatically go to it. But there is a difference now in he doesn't know if she's going to just come over.
Yeah.
Like, she has to ask. There's that, like, strain on their relationship now because they're not that close. So even though it's, like, such a nothing thing, where it's, like, the conversion from an upstairs living room to a bedroom, I feel like it's a missed opportunity to have something that would have set up that dynamic further.
No, I like that. That's good.
I said before too, the most interesting part of this story to me is how they were so close and now it's strained. And I think there's a line where she goes, Madden, ? I hear a soft voice behind me. I think that would have been a really great place to have a nickname for him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think it would have shown, like, that vulnerability, that, like, call to, like, their childhood.
And that could
that
cue
intimacy.
A flashback as well.
Yeah, that intimacy. That intimacy, like, between them that she's, like, giving in this, like, very vulnerable moment. Yeah. I feel like there was a good opportunity for, or there is a good opportunity for that tie-in there.
Yeah.
If that's what the story is about.
Yeah. I sort of had a thing where it's mentioned with the herbal tea, where it's like, she won't admit it, but Mum's, like, a hoarder. I feel like that, in a short story context, I feel like that comment doesn't necessarily need to be made. And I feel like it could be replaced, for the context of a short story, not the whole story as a whole. It could be replaced with something we already know about the mum. Like, it can be like, oh, and she's made a herbal tea, something.
I had a different...
Really?
I absolutely just deleted it off my thing. That's kind of heartbreaking.
Oh.
What I had written is if Yeah, because it seems like kind of a useless thing in a short story.
Yeah, or to add more context to it at some other point in the story.
Yeah, I would say it's another great spot to tie back into them being childhood friends.
Yeah.
It's like, let's just say Lydia really likes herbal tea. So the character could be like, Mum pulls down the herbal tea that she keeps stocked in the house, even though Lydia hasn't been over in years.
Yeah. Oh, that's cute.
Because then that, again, ties into how close they used to be and how, you know, she is almost a part of this family.
Yeah.
That strain.
And we could tie it to something like maybe there was something at Lydia's house that Madden always liked that Florence kept stocked there as well.
Yeah, that kind of missing, like, your youth and missing that closeness.
Yeah.
One more nitpicky thing. It's described that Lydia comes out in pajama pants and oversized sky blue hoodie, and then later it says that Madden grabs her a jacket from the rack next to the door, but she's already wearing a hoodie. That just doesn't make sense. She's wearing a hoodie. She don't need no jacket. she's chilling. I think I've read something about the hoodie. Oh, just more about them being childhood friends.
No.
Yeah. I think I read something that's like recognizing the hoodie, being like the one she got from her like blah blah birthday. I just really wish there were more ties into them being childhood friends thing.
Yeah.
It seemed like a really big part of the synopsis. And like I said before, my favorite line, the arm stretched out ready for her, that was an instinctual thing that he did because he knows her.
Yeah. And I think there are many points in the story where it can afford to have more description instead of just having like a very heavy dialogue section with he did this, she did this, he said that, she said that. I think it can afford to, especially because it is a first-person perspective story, it would be a lot, I feel like it would enrich the story more to have more input from Madden, like in his internal monologue or anything about how he's feeling, even just physically, like my hand's clammed up or something like that. Like something that shows how he's feeling more. Because if you're not focusing on Madden and his internal, external feelings, I feel like it can afford to be a third-person story instead.
Yeah, like the observer character, but we don't actually know anything about him.
Yeah, but I think it's still...
Which could make sense in a long story if that's the point.
Yeah.
Like him being very detached. But in a short story where there's no closure like that, it does feel like we're kind of missing something. We're missing like a benefit of a first person.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep... I have like more nitpicky. Which feels so...
Every time
I'm
like,
sorry.
Oh, one more nitpicky thing.
I'm so sorry. Hang on.
Worst.
I promise this will be the last one. Another scream springs me out of bed. I run to the top of the stairs, see Mum putting on her dressing gown and bolting out the front door down our one-step veranda. The down our one-step veranda thing, I would either cut that line or I would lead it into something else. Like the flow of the sentence is just very strange. I would be like down our one-step veranda across the narrow street, or like barefoot running down our one-step veranda to show like either how close the other house is or like the hastiness that the mother is leaving in. Just because the flow of the sentence is kind of cut short. So if you'd like to keep the line, because it's, you know, a fine line, just add more context to why it is there. Okay, I promise that's my last. I promise. Okay, I'll try find my my like bottom ones where I have huge things. What's your next point?
Honestly, I think I've been through a lot of mine because I keep intertwining them with other things that I'm talking about.
Okay.
But yeah, no, my main thing is just that it's very jumpy, I think. Where I would really like to hear more about Madden. Even, like, when he's, like, hiding behind the wall or something, like, maybe he overhears his mum say something about him.
Yeah. I do feel like he's a very mysterious character.
Yes.
But not mysterious like I want to know more, mysterious like
I don't want to know what
I'm like,
goes on in your mind.
who are you? Who is this man? I think a lot of my things were questions. I want to know why they, like, I assume they went their different ways because they both moved out, but I want to know when they moved out. We don't know how old these characters are.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they are mid-20s, early to mid-20s.
Yeah, I would say so as well.
Like university age.
Or maybe like just after.
Yeah, I want to know why their relationship is so strained. If they grew up so close across the road from each other, their mothers knew each other when they were 6, how did their relationship get strained? Was it Madden's addiction? Was it this strange romance they have between them? Like, did something happen and that could have, like, broken the years of, like, platonic bond that they have? Like, what strained their relationship?
Yeah.
Why is there this distance? I wanted something more with the mother as well. I feel like she's such a good central character because she ties everyone kind of in together.
Yeah.
She's Florence's best friend. She obviously knows Lydia very well to the point where she's talking with her about picking out the homes, and she's Madden's mother. She's kind of in the center of everything, but we don't know much about her.
Yeah, which I'm sure we would know
in the longer story. But as a short story,
yeah, it would. Yeah,
I feel like it would benefit if the mother had more of an impact on the story.
Like there were more like even just like offhanded comments about her.
Yeah, like, how she feels about certain situations. I like the idea of him overhearing her say something about Madden to Lydia.
Yeah.
Like watch him, like make sure he doesn't.
Make sure he's a good boy.
Make sure he's alright. Like putting more on Lydia even in the way.
Yeah, because while she's taking care of her son, now she also has to take care of like.
Yeah, it could be interesting if the mother was like, "Can you watch out for,
or just like
for Madden for me?" And then Lydia's like,
careful.
"Yeah, be careful for Madden." And then Lydia's like, "Bruh, another thing."
Yeah.
Thanks, miss.
Yeah. Because
I think she sees her almost as like a mother figure.
Probably.
That's kind of how I was like picturing it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm picturing this dynamic wrong. I don't know.
No, I mean like they clearly grew up together. Like when you grow up that close to someone, their parents become your parents. Like that's just how it goes. So,
I liked the themes of like anxiety and like loss of childhood. I wish it went into that more. I get the anxiety from Madden's perspective. I kind of want like a little bit higher stakes, like that he's worried that if he talks to Lydia, she will be like creeped out by it, or like she'll shut down, or she won't like understand. Right now, Lydia is like a very understanding character. Like at every point, I don't think she ever. Obviously, this is a very emotional night for her. Like she's seeking comfort, but there's no point where she ever like thinks like that Madden's strange or that anything's like, you know, enough to like cut people off. So that anxiety from Madden's perspective of like I don't want to overstep the boundaries felt a little like the stakes were really low. Like Lydia was just gonna be like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe a moment where like a reason they could have split before, like why their relationship is strained, is he said something or like even was doing drugs and she was like, I'm cutting you out of my life completely. I hate you. So something that like has stakes to their relationship.
Yeah, I mean like obviously she's very open to him now, but like obviously like doing drugs and being an addict is enough for someone to go, actually I don't want you to be in my life. So like even if that is just the reason, I feel like that's fine and like a very viable.
Yeah, so that being mentioned, or that being the thing that broke their relationship, could have been an interesting thing to add to Madden's anxiety of like not wanting to push her boundaries, especially if that's such an important thing to him. He'd be like, I don't want to push her boundaries. It's like, well, did you push her boundaries in the past? Yeah. Why is this such like a big concern? As well as the loss of childhood, that's something that the writer brought up as well, that they wanted to be conveyed in the story. I don't really get that in this story though.
Yeah, I mean, because again, it's a very
short. I think it's 1,500 words or something.
I think it's about 1,600. It is a very direct story where again it's he said this, she said this, this happened. So you don't have a lot of time for like the emotional, like even if like you get a scene of like Madden in his room, like when he's with Lydia, and there's that like feeling where he's like, oh, and it's almost like this gonna sound terrible because it's just coming off the top of my head, but like, oh, it almost seemed like it is how it used to be, but it isn't. And I'm a drug addict.
Yeah, like Lydia being in his house and his room is something so familiar, but now it's tainted.
Yeah,
they're both
that
older.
Sounds better than what I said.
The scene of like them in the bed holding hands, like it's tainted to him now because Lydia's here crying because her mother is like slowly losing her mind, and he's there recovering from being a drug addict, and he's like, oh, I miss how it used to be.
Yeah.
When we were innocent, when these problems like weren't even far away, but when these problems were non-existent, when these were the things we didn't worry about.
This didn't even happen.
Yeah, that loss of childhood and like, it could have been really heartbreaking.
Yeah. Also, just because we don't know how old the characters are, we don't know how old the characters' mothers are.
Oh yeah, I played Florence like a 6-year-old, and then you came in with like the most 30-year-old like voice for the mother.
Yeah.
And I was feeling a little insecure. I was feeling like I was committing to the part, and you weren't.
Yeah, but my point anyway is this like early onset Alzheimer's? Because
I had something.
Like if they're like late 20s, then these women are only going to be like maybe late 50s or something.
Yes.
Like average, obviously.
Because Florence is pretty far into her Alzheimer's as well, stage 6.
And Cossie seems fine.
Cossie seems completely like in her head. Not even the standard like kind of memory loss you get as you age. Like she seems completely in her right mind.
Yeah.
I will say that the language around the dialogue around that, I didn't know she was this close to stage 6, feels a little unrealistic when discussing mental health. Just with my experience talking about diseases like this. You wouldn't usually use that kind of language unless you're in like a room talking to a doctor, or unless you're like explicitly spelling things out to people. For Lydia to say it to Madden, who obviously like hasn't been here that long, he's just moved back in. Or she's saying it to the mum, I suppose. It's easier and it flows better. Just be like, I didn't know she was this bad or this far gone. This close to stage 6, it's just like not when you would use that language. Really.
Yeah.
Like I've really only used it when it's like you're sitting with the doctor and you're talking about like the stages and like what stage this person is in, or if you're writing on a sheet or something like that. That's more common. But that again, I feel like that's not a nitpicky thing. But yeah, just like the flow of the dialogue. Yeah. But it's good that this research is done.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you know what that meant when you read it, like the stage 6 thing?
I mean, I just assumed it's like
it was
most
bad.
other diseases. Yeah. But yeah.
Just because you said before that you don't know much about it.
I don't. I tried to do some research and I was like, no, not today.
It's not happening.
It's not happening today. I'm just gonna hope that Cassie knows a little bit more than me.
Yay! I do.
And I guess it's also good that I'm coming in it with no knowledge, because then that gives you the perspective of someone that doesn't know anything.
Yeah, this was a choice.
Yeah, this was actually an artistic choice on
This
my
was actually a
behalf.
technical choice. It's very intelligent.
This.
Another thing about the like wanting to have more distance in them, like from childhood friends to strangers, is I would have loved if Madden like recognized a look in a look in Lydia that he used to recognize, but he doesn't know how to react to it now. Especially with Lydia being like this vulnerable and this open. Obviously, children, they're a lot more vulnerable, they're a lot more open, especially like teenage years if you're super close, or like preteen years. And I don't want to get stereotypical. Women are very open with their emotions as well, and men typically are more like shut off with them. So if there was this moment where he was like remembering Lydia like crying or something, and he was comforting her. And then the difference to how that is now, where Lydia's crying and he can't even like walk around the wall to comfort her because he feels so awkward. That like juxtaposition.
Juxtaposition.
Yeah. I was gonna say conflict, but that's not what I read. That juxtaposition of like where it went wrong or like where it's different, tying into that as well. But
no,
yeah,
that
like
would
picking
be
up old habits, because he does recognize that she plays with her hands, like with the keys. So he obviously knows that about her. Yeah.
Even if that like set off another like flashback, if you didn't want to do any of the other flashbacks, if that set off something from when they were younger, and then he remembers how he used to help her. Yeah. And then he does help her with the hand.
Do you think this story would have benefited from a flashback scene?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's about childhood friends. And then there's not a lot of context
Where
when
would
they were
you,
younger.
just out of curiosity, where would you put it? Because I'm not a huge fan of flashback scenes.
Or even just, like, not even, like, so suddenly I'm 16 years old and I'm in my house again. Like, even just, like, a mention of it. That's what I mean by flashback.
Mention of tying back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, anything that goes back and mentions what happened when they were younger.
Mm.
And also, a thing that I noticed, there's not a lot of the five senses in this story.
No. Sorry, I said that so sadly. I do love some some sensory language.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a good opportunity for it as well here. Like
For flashbacks.
for like the night air, or like how cold it is, or the warmth of the tea, or the warmth of her hand. The smell of her. Oh, I think I made a note somewhere. I don't remember where I made it. Like, if he was, like, hugging her and it felt stilted and awkward, but he recognized her, like, scent or her smell. Like, it's the same as it was when they were, like, 16, but, like, the feel of it going in is so natural, but holding the hug is so strained. That kind of sensory description as well is really good for, like, familial things.
Yeah.
Recognizing things.
Yeah. No, I agree. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, whatever, shut up.
Shut up.
But yeah, I feel like we've been too nitpicky. I just want to say, I love the ending, especially.
Oh,
because
I was
it's
obsessed
so
with the
sweet.
ending. I loved the ending. I thought it was so cute.
And then it does, in the short story sense, add on well, they weren't there.
If I learned anything from last night, she can be a real kicker when she only has the blanket to keep her warm.
What does that mean?
To me, that implies that they boinked.
Oh. I could have just slept in the same bed.
She's a kicker?
I don't care about that sort of relationship when it's two straight people.
Okay.
I mean, if you sleep in a bed with anyone, you can be a kicker.
With your fingers intertwined?
What?
Okay.
No,
the
when
kicker.
they slept the day before,
Yeah.
she was a kicker. You can just be a kicker.
I am curious, because obviously we don't have Chapter 7, why they slept in the same bed last night.
Yeah.
And then she just went back home, I guess. Interesting. I gotta see my mom.
Yeah.
Bye.
I don't know. It would be interesting to have that context. But also, I feel like...
Yeah, because within a short story, I would remove that line. It makes things way too complicated.
Obviously, this whole thing makes sense in the context of the
Of a
bigger
longer,
story.
yeah.
I think it would really benefit from a rewrite into a short story.
I agree. Like a short story, like 3,000 words.
Yeah. I feel like that would
Because
work really
there's a
nice.
lot to say in this like short piece, and there is like a start, a medium, and an end to this story as well, just within this one chapter.
But there's too much going on to contain it
Yes.
to the 1,600 words, I feel like.
Yeah. If we're giving feedback on it being a short story, it would be like Madden needs to be more of a present character.
Yes.
I feel-
Especially if it's first person. If you don't care about Madden, I would probably
make it
suggest a
third
third
person.
person. Yeah.
Because there is a way to have that kind of emotional tie even in third person, but
Yeah.
it not to be so strictly like one
To
person's,
one person.
Yeah, one person's point of view. I don't know if I would keep in the addict thing if it was this short story.
Probably no, because then that adds a
be-
whole nother thing on top of it.
Yeah, it
With-
does, especially if it's the main character. It would have to be such a present and like main storyline.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, oh, the main character has a drug addiction.
I'm an
That's a
addict.
side story.
Whatever. It's not important.
Yeah, but there is something really interesting to like Lydia having to be so vulnerable with these people that she's so distant with.
Yeah. I think so too.
I think Lydia could even be like the main character in a way. Well, she kind of is.
I mean, in
The
this
central-
chapter, she
In
definitely
this chapter is. Yeah, the central story's about her.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for her too. Like, I know we didn't talk about it, but it's really sad.
Yeah. No, that's
It's such a like
hard.
sad emotional arc for Lydia.
Mm.
In this place that's like her childhood home, to feel so unsafe and so like distant and isolated.
And to just be coming back to it after
Yeah.
not visiting for a while.
Yeah, to
And to
realize
have everything changed.
yes, and to realize that a reason why that change is so intense is because you hadn't been there.
Because you hadn't been taken care of.
Like, yeah, it's not obviously, and they said in the story too, it's not her fault that she wasn't there.
No. But there's the guilt.
There's the guilt that like her not being there has led to her mother not remembering her.
Yeah.
Or as much as the mother Florence remembers Cossy. Oh, another thing is the change of in the main character's internal monologue. He changes from calling her Flo to Florence. I would change that to just have one name.
Yeah, or like...
Yeah.
I'm just going to shut up.
Like a Flo tries to take a step forward or Florence yells loud enough. There's a jump between using Flo and using Florence. I would understand that if like using Flo if it's from like the mother's point of view, because that's bestie.
Yeah.
So she's going to call her a nickname. Sorry. From Madden's perspective, I would understand just saying Florence.
Yeah. But if you just wanted it to flow better...
just finish the sentence.
Yeah, you can have him calling her Flo. Because, I mean, like... Yeah, I'm watching it, don't worry.
So I'm pointing to the time.
Like, even... For another joke, like, that could be, like, his Aunt Flo. Like, that could literally be, like, his...
Don't say Aunt Flo.
I'm saying it. I'm sorry.
Do you know it?
Yeah, I know what Aunt Flo is. That's why I said another joke.
Oh, okay.
But, like, that's, like, kind of like his auntie.
That's Papa.
That,
That's Dada.
yeah, that's Mama.
I know Dada.
Anyways,
No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, completely.
it would be normal for him to call her Flo.
Yeah.
But I feel like in some context, in like someone's dialogue, maybe they call her Florence. And then that gives you context to, oh, that's her name, it's Florence, but they all call her Flo.
Yeah, I
Like,
think
that's
I was saying that as well with the whole Madden thing. If Lydia called him Madden, and then the moment of vulnerability where she's asking to sleep in his room, she says a nickname, and it kind of ties back to her.
And maybe in the flashbacks, because I love a flashback, everyone calls him the nickname, but now everyone calls him Madden.
Oh, because they don't trust him.
Because they don't trust him anymore, because he's a drug addict.
I don't know Dada. You're not Dada.
No one knows Dada anymore.
Where has Dada gone? He's tuning things out, bro.
We need Mama.
Oh. Sorry. I was just hit with my own, like, the similarities between the father tuning everything out and now Madden being such a distant character.
Poof!
Like how he used to be probably very similar to his mother, very, like, loving and carefree and very close with this family.
Yeah.
They would have been, like, their own little unit, the two mothers who are friends and then the two children who are friends. But now, like, after everything that Madden has been through, he's, like, realizing he's more like his father now.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
When you start becoming your father.
When you start becoming a man.
A man.
Be like a man.
A man, an evil man.
Exactly.
That could have been that can be an interesting point to bring up as well. That kind of change. I think I'm just longing for more Madden.
For what?
For more Madden. Like, I feel like he's only really introduced halfway through, and then it's like, from the idea I've built up in my head about him, as this like this addict who's like coming home, and then also dealing with like the Lydia now coming into his life, or him coming into Lydia's life. He said, we still know the context of that, and having to take care of this like older woman and all the struggles of like getting clean, and this family who's got priorities in like different places that aren't necessarily him. Like, I've built like such an interesting character up in my mind.
Yeah, I know I said at the start I don't care because he's a man and also he's straight, but you know what?
Maybe
like
I
that
do.
man now.
Sometimes like straight men, we got to give him a bone.
We gotta give him benefit of the doubt, you know.
Yeah, they're not all bad.
All right, let's wrap this up. Anything else to say quickly?
I love the piece.
I love the piece. Thank you, Ash.
Thank you, Ash,
for sending it.
Thank you, Ash.
Super
quick. I love the vibe of the piece. Sorry.
I also love the vibe.
I usually bring up vibes because I am someone who like goes based off color. And sorry, I'm looking at the time. I've got 30 seconds. This gives like very dark browns, gritty, like brick, like dark blues. Suburban dark blues. Like, and I just am a sucker for that kind of thing. The very like deeper, like more cool toned stories. Yes. It's very intense. I love it.
I love it too. Thank you so much, Ash,
well written.
for submitting
Thank you so much, Ash.
If you want to submit your story, I don't know how you're going to do it. So tune in next week to find out.
Tune in next week when we learn how to do it.
Hopefully we'll have something up where you can submit it. Yeah. Thank you, Ash.
Thanks so much.
It
y'all have to pretend you don't hear this. I don't know how to end this live.
All right, so we're going to swap seats real quick.
Everyone,
you want to pop that on?
Everyone hold on. We're back. We're back so we can stop it.
We'll stop it soon, but I also just want to say, everyone go out and enjoy the sun.
Yeah, it's a nice day.
It's a beautiful day, and it won't be summer for much longer.
We'll see y'all at the beach.
Yeah, well, hopefully not. But
Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. We did it.
We did it.
Another one. And
that was the Plot Thickens.
That was. And you can tune in next week
on SwinRadio
at 3 p.m.
on a Tuesday
to listen to next week's episode.
Yay!
Outro.
SwinRadio.
The Plot
The
Thickens.
Plot Thickens. Thank you.
Bye.
SwinRadio.